What is the Predial system in Mexico? Welcome back to MyLatinLife. Today we're diving into a topic that's essential for anyone who owns property in Mexico or dreams of buying a home here. The Predial system, Mexico's property tax. If you're wondering what is Predial, how does it work, do foreigners have to pay it, or maybe you're curious about discounts, payment methods, avoiding penalties. Whatever it is, this video is for you. We're going deep into the Predial system, and we're going to share some lesser known insights that you won't find in most other real estate guides about property taxes in Mexico. So whether you're a homeowner in Puerto Vallarta or an investor in Tulum, grab a horchata and let's get started here. So the Impuesto Predial is Mexico's annual property tax, levied on all real estate, houses, condos, commercial buildings, or undeveloped land, regardless of whether the owner is a Mexican citizen or a foreigner. It's a local tax collected by municipal governments, not the federal government, and funds services like roads, schools, security, and garbage collection. The term predial comes from the Spanish word predio, meaning plot or property, and it's been a cornerstone of Mexico's tax system for decades. Unlike property taxes in the US or Canada, which can be 1 to 2% of a property's market value, predial is notably low, often ranging from 0.1% to 1.35% of the cadastral value, an assessed value set by local authorities that's typically much lower than the market price. According to a 2024 report, Predial generates about 0.2% of Mexico's GDP, far less than in countries like the US or Chile due to low rates and collection challenges. Common questions include how is it calculated, when do I pay, what happens if I miss the deadline. So let's dive exactly into how it works. To answer the question, how does the Predial system function? Let's break it down. Predial is calculated based on the cadastral value of your property, determined by local authorities using factors like size, location, age, and construction type. This value is often significantly lower than the market value, sometimes 50 to 70% less, keeping taxes affordable. For example, a $300,000 home in Ajijic might have a cadastral value yielding a predial bill of just $200 USD annually. Unlike in many countries, Mexico doesn't mail predial bills. It's your responsibility to know your tax obligation and pay it, typically by March 31st each year, though deadlines vary by municipality. You'll need your cuenta cadastral, which is your property tax ID number, found on your deed, the escritura pública, the fideicomiso if you have one, or previous tax receipts. Payment options include in-person at municipal offices like the tesorería or designated banks, usually in cash. Online, often via municipal websites like Puerto Vallarta's or Mexico City's tesorería, though some require Mexican bank accounts. Also via third parties, so property managers or lawyers can pay on your behalf, especially for non-residents. So if you have a property manager, get them to pay the predial, one less thing to worry about. And here's a lesser known quirk. So there's regional variations. In Mexico City, you can pay bi-monthly and receive a bill. Well, in Los Cabos, bills aren't sent and online payment is limited. Always keep your payment receipt, the pagado stamp, with your deed as it's required when selling your property. They need to know that you're up to date on your property taxes in order to have a smooth real estate transaction as the seller. Who has to pay predial and how much? Okay, so if you own any real estate in Mexico, whether a citizen, a foreigner, or owning through a fideicomiso or a Mexican corporation, Doesn't matter, you are responsible for Predial on your property. This includes residential homes, commercial properties, or undeveloped land, but government-owned properties are apparently exempt. The cost varies by municipality and by property. Rates range from 0.275% to 1.35% of the cadastral value, right? We've talked a bit about this, but here's something that people don't realize is that you get discounts for early payment. Most municipalities offer a 5 to 20% off if you pay in January or February, a little bit in advance. For example, in Puerto Vallarta, I believe you get a 15% discount if you pay in January. Also, seniors with INAPAM cards, pensioners, or people with disabilities may get up to 50% off in places like Bahía de Banderas. So check with your local tesorería for the specifics, but the INAPAM card can be useful, and you guys can look into that. Maybe we'll have to make a dedicated video on the INAPAM card, so subscribe to the channel because that video is probably coming soon. Okay, now let's get practical about how do you pay the predial, what are some tips, payment process. So the process varies by municipality, but here's a general guide. So first step is find your cuenta cadastral, check your deed, fideicomiso, or prior receipt. If unknown, visit the municipal tax office with your property address. Then get your assessment. Request your predial bill at the tesorería or online. Bring ID, proof of address like your CFE bill, and last year's receipt to speed things up. Again, pay early, pay by cash, bank transfer, credit or debit card. Some municipalities actually accept foreign cards. And some of these online portals can be pretty convenient. You may need something called a clave cadastral, which is like a key card. So a clave is like a key. So that's something you might want to look into, ask your municipality about. And then another tip is to keep proof. So again, get a pagado stamp or digital receipt and store it with your deed as it's needed for property sales or audits. Another lesser known tip is delegate. For non-residents, if you live abroad, hire a property manager, a lawyer, or an accountant to handle payments, especially in areas like Los Cabos, where the online systems are unreliable. Avoid the penalties because late payments can incur fees or liens, though enforcement varies. Let's talk about challenges and controversies. What challenges does the Predial system face? Despite its affordability, Predial collection is low, contributing just 0.2% of Mexico's GDP compared to 2.8% in the US, per a Tec de Monterrey analysis. Why? There's several reasons. Very outdated cadastral values where many properties are undervalued due to poor registry systems, especially in rural or ejidal communal areas. There could be administrative issues. Expect that some municipalities might lack digital systems, okay, reducing efficiency. And then culturally, Mexicans often wait till the last minute to pay, which clogs up the offices, okay? So let's explore how does Predial impact property owners and Mexican society. For example, Predial's low cost, often just 100 to 500 USD annually, makes home ownership affordable, especially for foreigners in coastal areas. Discounts and senior... Culturally, Predial reflects Mexico's trámite mindset. It can be a bureaucratic procedure. Unlike automated US systems, the lack of mailed bills and spotty online platforms requires some proactive effort here, which, as a foreigner, you might find surprising, but the locals have accepted it as normal. Okay? So the Predial's progressive nature funds local services, but low collection often limits its potential. For expats, paying Predial integrates you into the community. You can know that you're funding local services and supporting the local schools and parks. And there you have it, property pros, Mexico's Predial system is a low-cost, locally driven property tax that funds your community while keeping ownership affordable. From navigating the cuenta cadastral and early discounts to understanding regional quirks and cultural habits, you're now ready to tackle Predial like a local. Whether you're in Cancun, Mexico City, or Ajijic, with tips like online payments, delegating to managers, and storing receipts, you'll stay compliant and stress-free. Whether you're a retiree, investor, or dreamer, I hope this video answered your questions and got you excited about owning property in Mexico. If you need a lawyer or accountant for your real estate transaction in Mexico, we can help with that here at MyLatinLife. If you would like residency or citizenship in Mexico, that's our specialty, is helping people get residency in Mexico. It's an absolute no-brainer. There's a link in the description where you can book a call with us, MyLatinLife, and we can put that Mexican residency card in your hands, and we can assign some lawyers to your real estate transaction, whatever you need. So book a call, and we're ready to help. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more real estate and global living insights. See you in the next video.